I'm Marcia White. My husband Jerry and I are Ambassador Diamonds with ASEA. And tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about the Director 300 report and how to use it strategically to grow your ASEA business. So what is a Director 300? To qualify as a Director 300, you must be binary qualified with at least 300 group GV, which is group volume, on your lesser leg. And you must have at least 100 PV or personal volume, and then you can qualify on any given week as a Director 300 to be paid as a Director 300. Why are Director 300s important? One, you can earn team commissions when you're paid as a Director 300 or above. So that's the fifth way of the 8 ways we can get paid, and you qualify for that when you are a Director 300. And finally, Director 300s are the building blocks for all ASEA executive ranks. And that's kind of what we're going to spend our time looking at with our Director 300 report. How can we help our team members to grow to that Director 300 level and above by using the information that is given to us in that Director 300 report? So if you're wondering what the ranks are in ASEA, because I was talking about that and talking about how the Director 300 is kind of the basis for moving up on all of our executive ranks. If you go to your back office in the library, there's my favorite document in there is the compensation summary. The front side has the 8 ways we get paid. The back side is what you're viewing here, which has the requirements that you need to meet for every rank in ASEA. It also has this nifty chart at the top that lets you see which of the 8 ways that we get paid you're eligible to be paid at any given rank. And you can see here at the Director 300, it's the first time you're going to be eligible to receive a team commission. So that's another benefit for you personally as to reach that Director 300 level. But then as you want to become a bronze and the diamonds, ambassadors, presidentials, those will be one of the requirements will be that you have helped a certain number of people to get to that Director 300 or above rank also. So we want to look at the report and see how we can help them to do that. To get to your report, when you go to your back office, which you can log into using your ID number or your username and your password, when you get to your back office, the home page, right across the top, it'll have the opportunity for you to take a quick link to the Director 300 report. It's one of the most commonly used reports, and therefore it's got a special place just right on this bar right across when you get into your back office. The other way you can get there is by going to your menu. If you choose to go that way, you're going to go menu, and then you're going to go reports, and then you're going to look at your Director 300 legs report. There's a lot of other reports here, and some of them are very useful for you. Some of them, you don't need to worry about at this point in time. You certainly don't need to know all this information that's in all of these reports to build a business. You'll learn as you go. That's the joy of our business. So we're going to go to that Director 300 leg report. When we get there, it's going to look something like this. It's going to have a Director 300 leg report. It'll have your ID number and your name. I've changed and you'll see I've eliminated a lot of personal information on these reports because it wouldn't be right for me to share that with somebody and share their personal information. So a lot of these associate IDs or names I will have filled in with something else or just covered up. So you'll see your name there. You'll see your the pay period here. If you want to go back to a past pay period, you can do the drop down arrow and do that. And then I would suggest that you leave all of these as they are the criteria there that are set up there because they're the most useful ones that are there right now. If you should want to look at one of your downlines Director 300 report, you can go into your own back office and you can type their name in here under the associate ID number or name. You can type their name in here. When you do that, or if you put their ID number, then you're going to have to click on the magnifying glass and it will come up with their specific name, or maybe if you just were putting George, you couldn't remember the last name, it would come up with all the Georges in your organization and you can choose which one is the appropriate one that you're wanting to see. And then you could look at their Director 300 report. So you're going to have to click on show report or a report won't show up. Once you click there, you're going to have to still scroll down. And when you scroll down, you're going to see something that looks like this. And when you do that, this report has awesome information in it. And I just want to go over each one of the columns to start with. It'll have the first page that comes up will have a listing of all of your first level people, all the people that you have personally sponsored. So if you're wondering how many people have I sponsored, easy way, go to your Director 300 report, and you can see at the bottom right-hand corner here, it says showing one of 15, well, one page of 0, because there's only going to be one page for this person, because they have 15 entries for a total entries. So all of theirs show up in one page. And you can see they all have a 1 here because that's the first level to them. Their name would be here normally in this column. I've covered that up to protect this person's privacy. They're paid at rank for the particular week that you're looking at, and their lifetime rank. Now these ranks won't be, you know, maybe they're not quite up to their lifetime rank because this is a midweek report that we're looking at. Then it's going to have their ID numbers. I've blocked those out, obviously. And then it will tell you which leg they're on. Are they on your left leg or your right leg? Sometimes we get confused and we can't remember, oh, did I sign up George on the right or the left? Well, here you can find out right on this report. Director 3, if anybody is already a Director 300, at this point in time in this week, this person already has one of their people who has already reached the rank of Director 300. How many associates they have that have at least that 50 points for this week. If they're active, remember active means they have personally have done at least 100 points in the last 4 weeks or 5 weeks technically, I guess. And if they're binary qualified, and then how much volume they have on their left leg, how much volume they have on their right leg. And you can see that this person has over 300 on both legs, so they are qualifying as a Director 300. And then this is really fun. They have now given us a place to see that this particular person has actually sponsored 9 people on their left. 6 of those are active this week. And on their right leg, they sponsored 12 people, and 9 of those are active. So that's kind of interesting. They're actually following that rule of thirds right there, because the rule of thirds says if you have, you know, if you have 9 people that you're going to get at least a third that are going to be doing something, and they're well above that average. The next column is going to give you their phone number, a secondary phone number if they need it. And you'll notice this bar down here at the bottom over by the right, this blue bar, it's not all the way to the right. If I were on an active page and not on a screenshot, I could pull that bar over and I would see the email addresses of each of these people. So ASEA's made it really easy for you to contact your frontline people. Now let's see what we can do with this report. Also note these little blue arrows right on the top of each of these columns. If I wanted to sort any one of these columns, say I wanted to sort and find out, you know, so they weren't mixed up yeses and nos in this active column, I could click on this little blue arrow and it would put all the nos at the top, the people that are not active at the top, and the people that are active at the bottom. It would sort it for me. Now, if I wanted all the yeses at the top, I would simply click twice on the blue arrow. So any of these blue arrows, that means any of these columns are sortable. Okay, let's move on. So now let's look, and we're going to be looking to see, you know, if say I wanted to be bronze, and this was my Director 300 report. And remember, the qualification for bronze is that I need 2,000 points on each leg, and I need to have helped at least 2 sponsorship lines get to the Director 300 level. Somebody in those sponsorship lines get to the Director 300 level. Well, so far this week, I have 1 person, it tells me, that got to the Director 300 level when I look through this Director level. But I need to get 2 to be a paid at bronze. So I need to look and see who maybe might be able to get to that bronze level or that Director 300 level. And, you know, who's on their way the most? Anybody could get there by just massive action. But there's some people that are actually already partway there. So I might as well, you know, be calling them and saying, hey, you know, what can we do working together here to get you over the hump so you can get a team commission this week? And so what I'm going to do is sort this by hitting this little blue X here, or arrow, and it's going to put all the people that are binary qualified already at the top. Because remember, to be a Director 300, they have to be binary qualified. That means they have one personally sponsored person on their left leg, one personally sponsored person on their right leg who have done at least 100 points in the last month. So this tells me that they've already met that qualification. That's part of getting to a Director 300. They just need to get now 300 points at least on their left and at least 300 points on their right. The first person has done that. They have 1,600 and they have 650. The next person has 10,000. You know, they're in a good position. You know, they've maybe been in for a long time. They've banked up some volume, but they only have 50 points so far on that right leg. So we need to find out who can we talk to that maybe they've already sponsored somebody, and you know, they're just chomping at the bit for somebody to call them and say, hey, who do you know that might want to start a business or that might want some product, but they've been maybe for some reason bashful to call you. So we're going to look over, since he needs volume on the right volume leg here, we're going to go over to this right personally active count. And we see that he has 5 people already that he's sponsored on the right, 4 of which are already active. So let's go see who those names are and contact them and see if any of them know somebody that might want to get active with ASEA. So we're going to look there. And this is what, okay, so we're going to look here at the 4 out of 5. What did I do here? Okay, and this is what comes up. It shows the right leg people. Here's those 5 people. And if we look, here's the ones that are active in the active column. These 4 are active. Here's one that's not active. Wow, we happen to have the Stronger Together promotion going on right now, where anybody that does an auto ship order gets 25% back in loyalty reward points. This would be a great person to call and make sure they're aware of that. Maybe they'd like to get back on auto ship and take advantage of that 25% loyalty rewards. And that would help to get towards that 300 points that they needed. If they did 100 points, now that person would be at 150 for their right leg because they had 50 points already. Maybe calling each one of these people, because the phone numbers are right here, emails are right here, if I hadn't covered them up. Calling each one of these people and saying, hey, you know, I see, you know, you're doing great. You know, especially this person, they've already sponsored somebody even. Maybe they want to try and get binary qualified. Let's try and get you binary qualified, get you to that director level. And, you know, who do you know? And you can work towards getting to that Director 300 by using the people that are already existing and helping them to get to Director 300. Or you could start sponsoring some more people on that right leg if that's how you choose to get the points. There's also other people that we might want to look at. We looked at, I just gave her a fictitious name of Sue. We looked at her and we started working with her. And, you know, we always want to be working towards getting more than, if you want to reach bronze, you want to be working towards getting 3 and 4 Director 300 legs, because some weeks, you know, they just might not quite get up to that 300 point, but another person might. So you want to have some that can juggle back and forth, so you can always have those 2 Director 300 legs each week. So let's see who would be other possibilities to get a hold of. When we look at this person is active here, they are not binary qualified, but they have banked 610 points on one leg and 1,300 on the other. So they've gotten some volume from the binary tree, but they need to sponsor some people. Maybe now they're ready to start doing that. So you might want to reach out to them and say, hey, wow, you know, you've got an opportunity here to be getting a check for a team commission. Who do you know? Are you ready to start referring some people so we can get you to that Director 300 level? And they can do that. But they don't have anybody on either leg. So that's going to be a little tougher, but you might be able to ignite them. Here's another person that has some volume on one leg, but not on the other. Might be able to ignite them. And then finally, there's this person who has volume on both legs. So they've got that taken care of. They're active, so they enjoy the product. They believe in the product. They've actually done some sponsoring, but for some reason, they don't have an active person anymore on their right leg. So you could work with them, reach out to this person that they did sponsor. Maybe they want to get reactivated with this Stronger Together promotion. Or maybe they know somebody, this person knows somebody and they are ready to reach out to them with you and see if they can get a new team member or get that line started going on that side. Because the exciting thing for this person, they have enough volume. Remember, we get paid on a team commission, you get paid 10% of your lesser leg. So this person, if they go binary qualified, that's another requirement for being Director 300, they're going to get 10% of their lesser leg, which is going to be automatically $217. That makes it even more attractive for them to be thinking of somebody they might want to reach out to for that right leg. So that's how you can use this Director 300 report to try and find, who's ready to maybe go and get to that Director 300 or above level. Now, let's see here what I have next. Okay, and so also we're talking about Stronger, Together promotion. You want to be checking out that active column on your Director 300 report. It's just a real quick glance to see who's not active in your first frontline people. And this person has 4 people that are not active currently. And they might be really good ones to reach out with our Stronger Together promotion. Possibly they've been long enough that they even will qualify for the 15% on their discount on their product. So it's a good, easy way to get a quick look at people that might really benefit from our promotion we have going on right now. And you'll have their phone numbers and email. Remember, if you scroll all the way across, their email is going to be there. And you can get them started there. Now, how can you use this report for dripping on potential business builders? Maybe you signed somebody up, you've been in for 1.5 years and you signed somebody up right off the bat. And they might have started using the product, may even continually use the product and still use the product. But they kind of thought, no, I don't really want to build a business. Sometimes you have to let them know that the business is building whether they want it to or not. And interestingly enough, we talked a little bit about this person at the bottom that already had 2,400 points and 1,170 points, how if they just got binary qualified, they were going to get a check right away. That's going to be very interesting to that person. Well, we also have this person up here, and they have 0 on their left, but on their right leg, they've banked 8,500 points. That means there's some people on the binary underneath them, and they may not be aware. Maybe they signed up that 1.5 years ago, and they just kind of put a SIA on the back burner, although they are using it every month because it's active. So that's even a bigger benefit. We know this person really believes in the product, believes in the company, and has probably even had a pretty significant product experience. So what I recommend doing when you see somebody like that, especially that's on the product and that has some banked volume on one leg, maybe not much on the other, and they have never sponsored before, is I would reach out to them every 3-6 months and let them know how many team members are on their binary team. And the way you can do that is you're going to go over here, you're going to take their ID number, that would be right here, their associate ID number or their name, copy it, and then go to your binary placement tree. When we go there, we can put in the name here. You can put anybody's associate ID or name number here, but we're going to put that specific person there. and then click the magnifying glass. Remember, if we just put the name, it will then come up with name and ID number, and you're going to click on that, and then their report will come up. So it's going to come up and it's going to look like this. It's not going to give you a whole lot of information right there, but if you click on this square that says Mary Smith and her rank and such, and if you click on that, it's going to come up with a detailed information. Any one of the people on your tree you can do this. And in that detailed information, it's going to tell us that she has a total downline of 17 people on that one side. So here's this person who has got banked 8,000 points. They're active, they believe in the product, they're using it daily, yet they've never sponsored anybody. So if you call them and let them know, hey, you know, I see you really are enjoying this product. Did you know that while you've been, you know, using the product, that your team has actually been growing, and you haven't been having to do anything yet? It's got 17 people on your team on your right leg. Would you be interested in maybe starting to work with me and see if we couldn't build you some business to maybe pay for your product, maybe a car payment, whatever works for your family. But I think that you've got a really good start here, and we could be a really good team together. So that's a great way to use your report, by just dripping on people. So that's what I have to share with you tonight. If you have any questions, I haven't been checking in here, but if you have any questions on anything that I covered, if you want to write those in the chat, I would be happy to field a couple of questions. This is being recorded, and I will be putting the recording on the Facebook page, ASEA United. It also will be available at vimeo.com/ASEA United, if you just want to go straight there. And other trainings that I have done on the back office are also available on both of those places, on vimeo.com/ASEA United and on the Facebook page, ASEA United. So, all righty, it doesn't look like we have any questions. I hope that this has been helpful for you. The Director 300 report, go in there, play with it. The joyful thing is, once you're in your back office in these reports, you can click and push and do whatever, and you can't screw a thing up. It's just going to go right back to where it was when you close out. So don't feel fearful in going into your report and playing with it and gleaning the information that they've made available to us. Let's see if we have